we're continuing to talk about Catherine Mansfield's The Doll's House. Let's start out with a riddle today. When is a doll's house not a doll's house? Give up? When it's a Marxist symbol of the bourgeoisie oppression of the proletariat, of course. That was a good riddle. No, it wasn't. Let me explain. The Burnells and the Kelvies clearly represent more than just their families. The Burnells are the bourgeoisie. They're the moneyed ruling class. They don't have to work, they own things, and have obvious value as members of society. The Kelvies are the proletarians. They're workers, and the only obvious value they have comes from the labor they can squeeze out of their bodies. Karl Marx said that the history of all societies is that of class struggle. Catherine Mansfield clearly agreed with him. Mansfield creates a single place where members from across the class spectrum interact, the schoolyard. Isabel, Lottie, and Kezia want to bring their classmates home from the schoolyard to see their dollhouse. In the paragraph where they first tell us that they're allowed to bring their classmates home to see the dollhouse, there's another one of those lines that shows us what Catherine Mansfield thinks about the class system. I want Group 1 to try and find that line, and then any others in the story that hint at the way the author feels about the characters and attitudes in the story. When they first open the dollhouse, the Burnell girls marvel at the lavish decorations and rich details. But it's the little oil lamp that catches the eye of young Kezia. When we get to the end of the story, we find out that the youngest Kelvie, Else, was also drawn to this lamp. I want Group 2 to tell us why they think that is. Find me some details about the lamp, and see if you can cleanly relate it to the idea of the class system. Why does this lamp bridge the gap between the two youngest children in the story? And speaking of the youngest children in the story, Kezia really wants to invite the Kelvies over to see the dollhouse, but everyone else is clearly against it. When Kezia asks her mother about inviting the Kelvies over, she gets a very curt reply. I want Group 3 to go back and find places where Kezia Burnell and Else Kelvie either fail to recognize the class roles imposed on them, or just clearly choose to ignore them. Tell me why you think that is. And Group 4 gets the easy one. Take a look at class consciousness as a whole in the story. Where do the Burnells and the Kelvies fall into line with the class system? Where do they go against it? Which family do you think is closer to each other? Does their awareness of their position in the class system have anything to do with this? And that's it. Get to work. We'll share our responses towards the end of the period.